plantain with plenty meat. White fufu with plenty arrow. Yellow fufu small maggi. Now so we do and we for bello. We no go so carry today. If I know the cook I dey for nebo. Before we cool I'm down for their palo. One charge the bill for my nemo, my nemo. I said that I'm at tango now. What is so? What is so? One fufu for all my men them. We just got time in Mutumbu. I said make we dance some. This year we did it up, and next year let's triple. Follow me, drink rainbow. Anything you want, lunch Billy got you. Hands in the air, it's a new year. Hands in the air, we celebrate. Hands in the air, it's a new year. Hands in the air, watch me wind my way. Danny back, yeah, yeah. I go fungu back, oh yeah, yeah. I bumbi, oh yeah, yeah. Osani for Sanini, yeah. Danny back, yeah, yeah. I go fungu back, yeah, yeah. Sasani, Sasanini, yeah. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Now for Bapu, we go slow.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. I want to be very brief on this live show because You know, we are thankful to everybody who is joining at this time. You know, because of a lot of the crucial things that are happening on the ground. We have to keep our heads very high and concentrate on the goal. And in 5 minutes, I'm going to say something, and we are happy anyway that every day God gives us an opportunity to live another life, to live another day, and for us all to understand the dynamics of revolution. I want to talk about a few things about the attack on my private property, about 11 February, about the speech of President Paul Biya of the colonial La République du Cameroon, and of course you all heard the speech of our acting interim president, and all of those things joined together in this show. And just to let you know that we have not relented, I have learned today, and I learned with a lot of laughter and to get the frustration of the Cameroon military that are so weak, are so battered. I mean, there is no military in the world that attacks a civilian, that burns down houses of individuals. And to think that you go and burn the house of an activist who is abroad because you hope in the intention that you would make me weak or try to inflict pain on me, and you will make me, probably it will be like a deterrence for me not to continue the activism. And Ambazonians who want to understand something, I think that the problem that we have is ourselves, us Ambazonians. 4 or 5 days ago, one friend who visited my former apartment here in the USA, he came with another friend, and he just came from Cameroon, from Yaoundé, and actually out of although I kept my distance, but out of a lot of technicalities, because I'm going to make some declarations after this, and I want everybody who is my follower to understand this, because I'm taking some measures, and based on that, because I have now come to the conclusion that I can't trust anybody anymore because of what has happened. A friend came, I know he's listening, and a few days ago, like 4 or 5 days ago, so he called me. He was trying to find information, and in the process, he was trying to talk about my house in Mamfe, and then he told me that he heard that I have a house in Mamfe, and that why is that house has not been burned down and stuff like that. Given what I do, I said, okay, that's because that house is this, is that. So there are some nitty-gritties I cannot explain. That I explained to him. And so he probably got the idea that he could tell the military that I have a house in this place, and it is shocking to me that and I don't want to think it's a coincidence, but I know the military was so badly wounded, beaten, and killed in Osing today, because they killed like 10 soldiers in Osing and wounded a whole lot. Some are in the hospital, and so as I speak with you, they have been burning Osing, part of the junction. You get some pictures soon that have burned down Osing. And the military burned Bisongabang just a few days ago. And so they have moved to the private property of activists. And I know that this friend gave them information based on the discussion that we had. And to me, I'm not bothered, because I'm going to say this, and I'll repeat this in the next live show. You know that my main account has been blocked, and this account we have not used it for a long time. And we know that a lot of people are also probably sleeping on ground zero. But I want to pass this message very clearly that there are strict instructions for 11 February. And nothing is going to change our resolve. There are strict instructions on the 11th of February. And I want everybody who is watching from Manu, where I come from Mamfe Central particularly, I want this message to go to them, that if you are seen outside on the 11th of February, we will bless you. You understand? We will bless you and pray for you for the very last time. So I want you to be aware that if you are seen on the 11th of February outside in Manu particularly, you'll be blessed. you'll be blessed in a special way. And we will pray for God to really bless you. So tomorrow, 11 February, is supposed to be the highest lockdown in Southern Cameroon. And that fact should be made very clearly to all and sundry. And so we understand exactly what is going on. So you have heard what President Paul Biya has said, an empty speech talking about jobs that they have provided, jobs that don't exist, when Cameroon is facing the highest rate of unemployment ever since the beginning of the century. And you heard what the acting president said. I am going to make very serious reactions to the APNC this coming week, and to what Dr. Sako said, and to some other things that are flying on social media. I want people to stay resolved, to stay committed, because we have already beaten the military, and that's why they are behaving this way. Now, I want to be very brief. I have had calls and confirmation from Mamfe, where I happen to have had an apartment complex, 4 apartments self-contained there in Mamfe. Of course, that residence was bought sometime like 2 or so more years ago, before I came to the US, when I was running my business in Mamfe National Telegraph. And so we acquired that property with my wife, so we actually named it after our newspaper, National Telegraph Apartment Complexes. And so it's a 4 apartment complex, self-contained, everything, ties, but we decided, because of this movement, because I was so engaged in this, I said that we're not going to put any tenants there, because I'll be risking people who will be renting that apartment, since the soldiers knew. But anyway, there were some cover-ups about that. So today, I've got news that they have burnt it down. I don't know the extent to which they have done that. I want to tell the soldiers one thing. Please, let them go back and burn it more. Because this is what's going to happen. Now, the soldiers, we are not targeting homes of soldiers before. Neither are we targeting homes of people who are working with the government. We are targeting government structures that are aiding, that are moving as command and control and command centers. And we've been making sure that we flatten them, because they are in line with genocidal activities. And so we have not bothered too much about whatever the soldiers have been doing. We've been bothering about defending ourselves. We have been key to some particular aspects. No, somebody's trying to say here that it's some other person who burnt it. No, it's not that person who burnt it. We have proof and clear evidences that soldiers did. They came in a white hillocks, like eyewitnesses who were inside observing. 8 of them, they drove, came down, and then set fire on my residence, and then they burned it and stuff like that. Well, unfortunately for the soldiers, is that residence in Mamfe is the list of my properties. We at National Telegraph, we have a lot of properties in Limbe, in Boya, in Bamenda, and other parts of Southern Cameroon, bought from our hard-earned money. And so they have just burned one, and they have to go to Boya, to Bamenda, to Kumba, and some other parts to check out the other properties and try to burn them. But I want to assure them one thing. I want all of you to be witnesses to this live show today. From the governor, Kalabelai, to the SGO, Umde, to all the soldiers, I know all of them who went to that property. They will hear from me. They'll hear from me, and I want them to be rest assured. This is it's an open letter. It's an open speech to anybody who is working with the BI regime, that they have crossed the line, and I'm not bothered, because I'm just an individual, and a property, a house, is not compared to lives that have been lost, the lives of the people that have killed in the corner, killed in Bamenda and other parts of Southern Cameroon. Those are the killed in Bole. I think it is not. My house is not commiserate to that, and they will want to only think that they have moved me to another level of activism and another level of a firebrand commander of the ground. Now they will see how much I'm in touch with the ground. They will see on daily basis. I know when I say this, Facebook will come and block this other account. That is not an issue. We have a YouTube account that we can use. So I want to be very clear with them that on daily basis, I will teach government workers, military, and administrator why they call me Eric TATAW. They are just joking and they have touched all that they have to do. And I think the ball is rolling. So I'm just letting them know that I am not bothered about what they have done. I've received the report and it's part of the war. It's part of the collateral damage or damages that my family, my person, my activism has to cause me. First of all, my businesses in Cameroon has been shut down. I can't do any transactions. And so I understand that and I accept it because I put myself in this position and I accept to fight for the people. I have to stay committed. We have to be as a team. And probably they will want to think that burning down my house will mean, can I take this call? Just a minute. Hello? Yeah? Yes. You want to say something? I'm live now. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Okay. All right. Somebody, thank you so much. All right. Somebody was calling to tell me sorry and stuff like that. So we're just trying to say that all these things are not important. We are just letting the military understand that we have a resolve. We fight here based on the ideology of freedom and not based on the fact that we are bothered about the fact that we don't know that they can actually attack our properties. But I want the government of Cameroon to know one thing. I want it to be clear to them that it is a weakness on the part of the government to touch on they started with Mark Barita when they attacked and arrested his mother. They moved to some of my family members and they shot some in my village. And now they have moved to my private property. And I just want the government to know that it is a weakness on their part to attack properties of activists, especially, and of civilians. But this is something that the government has done repeatedly. And we all understand that it is a normal thing for the Cameroon military. And I'm just letting them, I know they're watching this live show at this moment. And I am letting them to know that, I understand that they are celebrating only this once and they'll be so miserable tomorrow. And for the soldiers that have gone there, I want to assure the 8 of them that they have less than 2 days to leave because, the house is well taken care of, if you understand what I mean. So we will see what is going to happen in the next couple of days to those soldiers. You will hear the news and they will understand why they call me Eric TATAW. That said, that's not to say that I've done anything diabolic and all. I am just letting them know that I know them in person and I know how they've gone there and whatever happened. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you see those pictures on social media anytime soon, do not bother about calling me. Do not bother about the fact that I feel worried. I feel very strong. And I am concerned about one of our brothers who came to my residence and who gave the information to the military. He lives just around. He doesn't live too far. And so I'm sending him this message that I am happy with the very good work he has done by coming to my residence and taking information about my stuffs and selling out to the military. And we are happy that people like that exist. They only make us to learn. So probably, I want to say this very carefully. We have to understand that we are fighting a war in a time when everybody is considering everybody on the other side as an enemy. And that is how we have to stay. Of all those of you, my followers, you are aware of how much we have suffered in terms of attacks, social media attacks on this platform, but how much we have been resolute and how much we have stood very strong. On Monday, tomorrow is Monday, on Tuesday most likely, we'll do a special live show that will announce on all these issues after we must have measured the temperature. Tomorrow is 11th of February and we are steady we are steady on making sure that the 11th February doesn't hold. They have arrested dozens of people, persons, unarmed civilians around the GBHS roundabout, my two roundabout in Limbe, and they have taken them to a known destination to make sure that they march tomorrow. They've also arrested some in Boya, you're already aware, and they are doing same in other parts of southern Cameroon because they want to ensure that people should march, because of course, so be rest assured that should our restoration forces would be prone with people who go to the field voluntarily. We know those who have been arrested to go and march. We are going to spare them. But those who take their legs, take bikes or vehicles and go to the field to go and march, they will have to answer to the restoration forces. They will have to answer to the people of Southern Cameroon for disobeying our lockdown. So I think that's what I'm going to say now. I want you to stay committed. I want you to dispel any rumor about the resignation of Secretary Chris Ano. You have heard the acting interim president. I want you to understand that private discussions on social media groups remain very private. If I wanted to turn down my resignation or to say I'm stopping National Telegraph, it would be official on the National Telegraph Facebook page on our website, and not something that we actually will have people steal stuff from WhatsApp groups and then share them out there. And I just want to say one very important thing. After my investigation about the person who shared the WhatsApp, despite all the things that happened, I came to the conclusion that that WhatsApp message was never shared by Kalesh Bongo, that like it is purported. That's the Secretary for Health and Health on or something services, Kalesh Bongo. I found out that she is not the one who shared that message, because I have received confirmed information between the chat that she had with one other activist who leaked out that information, and it showed that that activist was given that information by one of the male members of the IG cabinet who wanted to set up Kalesh Bongo and to divide the IG. So we have moves within the IG, and we have discovered that. So we want everybody to stay committed and dismiss all claims that Kalesh Bongo sold out that screenshot. That is not true. I can tell you authoritatively, Kalesh Bongo is not my friend. I don't discuss with her, but I have interest in protecting people, in making sure that lies are not told about people. That's what this platform is for. In the days ahead, I might bring her. I want to clear up the whole issue about the cabinet of the interim government. But just to let you all know that the interim government is intact, but we are still appealing to Dr. Sako and other members of the cabinet to do some shake-up and try to let go some people who have become redundant, because that remains very important. We also want to thank restoration forces in Nguti who have been battling with the colonial forces, to thank especially those in Osing who did a very wonderful job. Please, we are quite pleased with everybody who is following at this time. This is an impromptu show. And just to let you know that we are not very bothered about anything the military is doing to us at this time, because we have one focus, and that is going to be Boya, and as it has always been. Of course, you know, within the revolution, we have enemies who are of the opposing camp who have been completely disgraced by the fact that the lockdown has been very successful. We have succeeded in beating and battling the economy of La République du Cameroon. They have lost so much money, and our people have remained safer than before. Before in 10 days, they would have killed many people and then put stuff on them saying that they're restoration forces. But you have seen that very less people have been killed, though somewhere I saw Voice of America reporting 70. Yes, 70, because there was a very high death rate in Bole Bakundu, where the military shot randomly, rampantly, and they shot with a lot of tenacity in the market square. And the incident in Bole Bakundu is now ranked amongst the highest ever massacres that have occurred in a market day in the world, and probably in Africa. Even in America, where we have had some shootings, we have not had that number of people being shot all at once. And of course, please, we thank you all for your commitment, and we say God bless you. We want you to keep focused, to understand that this fight is about us, and it is only those of us who are going to fight this fight till the end. Before I go, as it is my tradition, I will have to do this real quick. So we have had confirmation from Secretary Tabanyang that the lawyers have received the total amount of money that we raised here, which is $8,000 for the lawyers. Joshua Carr has received their portion for FACO. Today I sent what was sent to Sikot in Momo. That has been sent $150, 100 from Sister Philo in France, and the other one that came from Mr. and Mrs. Thomas, who get $550 that I announced yesterday, we also have a $21 that has come in from yesterday at 11:55 a.m. $21 from K Baba, and of course all of that is going to be transferred to the appropriate quarters. So we try to remain as constant on our transparency as possible. And so we are all very happy that everything is happening according to God's plan. And just to let you all know that we remain very resolute and we are concerned about the security of our people. Like I said before, we cannot say that we will not have this kind of things happen to us as activists, but we have to remain resolute. It's sometimes, yes, of course, there's no doubt that it's sometimes difficult to understand that you have a huge property. We cannot call the amount, but it's really very huge. And but they burnt it down. That makes some really serious sense to me. It shows how much we have inflicted pain on them, because once you get frustrated, you wouldn't burn down the property of an activist. So I want to thank you all for your support, for the trust. We'll leave you here on Tuesday. We'll be back with a special live show, and I'm sure by then you must have had a full understanding of everything that is happening. I also want to thank my family for the support and for everything that they do. We thank them so much, and to let them know that I know how much danger they face, as because their son speaks here on behalf of the people who have mandated him to do. I know how much danger all of those things can be to my friends and relatives. And I understand that I'm also probably in danger, because I know how to take care of myself more than any other member of my family can do for themselves or for themselves. And so we remain committed, and we only ask that you guys can pray for us and keep us in your prayers all the time. Well, it is difficult to say the least. My wife and other close family members will feel differently about the property, but it remains a fact that nothing can be changed at this time. So we use this platform to let them understand that I am sorry that they're getting into this because of me, but they have to understand that the lives of 10 million people are at stake. So we have to keep fighting, come rain, come shine, until we get to Boya. Remain committed, and I want to give you one message. Anybody can resign, but I will never resign. I'm here, and we're going to stay committed forever. Thank you. God bless you, and bye-bye for now.